What's up guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Julia and today we're going to be talking about how to have a successful cutting phase. For those of you who don't know, I am a NASM certified personal trainer and I studied sports nutrition in college, and I just think that nutrition is so freaking interesting. I love seeing the effects it has on your body composition, your energy, your performance, the way you look, the way you feel. Like, I think it is so freaking cool, and I have helped a ton of my clients go through different cut phases, fat loss phases, and I myself am currently going through a cut. So all of this information is just going to be coming from my experience helping people, as well as my own experiences going through cuts. Since I am currently going through a cut, I've gotten a ton of questions about what a cutting phase even is, how to properly go through one, and my tips and tricks for cutting. So that's exactly what we're going to be talking about today. So without further ado, make sure you're subscribed and let's get into it. All right, quick disclaimer because I feel like it needs to be talked about. I am not at all saying that everyone needs to go through a cut phase and lose weight and be in a calorie deficit. No, not by any means. I am well aware that majority of the population will probably never even think to go through a proper cut phase. So this is for a very small, distinct group of people. Those who are cutting and currently struggling, or want to cut but don't know where to start, or don't even know what a cut phase is, but you're interested in it. It is for those people. If you're not interested in cutting at all, feel free to click right out of this video, because I know it might not be interesting at all to some people, but like I said, nutrition and its effect on your body and performance and everything is super freaking interesting to me, and I know a lot of my followers are interested in it as well. So take this all with a grain of salt. It is from my experience, my knowledge, and I hope it can help you all. And in classic Julia fashion, we are keeping things as simple as can be, as black and white, clear as day as they can possibly be. And when it comes to being in a cut, it is all about calories in versus calories out. As much as a lot of you probably didn't want to hear that, it really is as simple as that. And people try to overcomplicate it so freaking much, but at the end of the day, it's calories in versus calories out. When you are going through a cut phase, typically your goal is to lose fat, and this involves you being in a consistent calorie deficit day after day. The key word for this entire video is going to be consistency, because at the end of the day, long-term consistency will always trump short-term intensity and like trying to be perfect. So just keep that in mind. Consistency is key. And when I say calorie deficit, I mean that you are expending more calories every single day than you are consuming. So there needs to be an imbalance when you are in that calorie deficit. So there are two different ways to be in a calorie deficit. One is to increase your calorie expenditure, how many calories you're burning each day. And then the other way is to decrease your calorie consumption, so how much you are eating and consuming on a daily basis. You can also do a little balancing act of both of these by slightly increasing your calorie expenditure and slightly decreasing your calorie consumption. And I just want to note, since you're going to be in a consistent calorie deficit day after day, yes, the primary goal and the primary thing that will be happening will be fat loss, but you also may lose a little bit of lean muscle mass, but it's completely normal, and we will talk about ways to retain your muscle mass. I'm sure we all can agree the hardest piece of the puzzle when it comes to cutting or even just a weight loss journey is definitely the nutrition, at least from my experience and my clients' experience. Getting your nutrition right is the hardest and most confusing piece of the puzzle. And when it comes to being in a calorie deficit by way of decreasing your calorie consumption, you are first going to need to know your maintenance calories. So yes, you are going to have to track. A simple way that I have my clients find their maintenance calories, and no, it is not 100% accurate, but I just have them track their normal week. They do their normal levels of physical activity, they eat their normal foods, and they weigh themselves at the beginning of the week, maybe in the middle of the week if they're okay with that, and then at the end of the week. They see if their body fluctuates at all, if their weight has any drastic changes. Hopefully it stays pretty similar, because in that case, that is their maintenance calories. That is their normal, that is where their body just likes to stay and feels content. So from there, that is when we kind of calculate our calorie deficit. When it comes to actually calculating and setting your calories for your calorie deficit, I always go by 200 to 500 calories less than your maintenance calories. So for example, if your maintenance calories are 2,000 calories a day, then your new calorie goal for being in your calorie deficit is gonna be 1,500 to 1,800 calories. But you're gonna wanna pick one of those numbers or any number in between and set that as a goal, because you don't wanna be fluctuating between 1,500 and 1,800. You wanna set a specific goal. So maybe you're gonna set a goal of 1,600 calories a day. That is your deficit. I just think it is safe to do anywhere between 200 and 500. Anything over 500, like in hopes of speeding up the process and like trying to get a quick fix, you're just overdoing it at that point, and it's just counterintuitive. You're gonna end up hitting a wall and going right back to square one. And that is why my advice is always 200 to 500. And like I said before, you can ensure you're in a calorie deficit by increasing that calorie expenditure as well. So adding a little bit of cardio while also being in that calorie deficit. It just ensures that you are in a for sure calorie deficit. And since tracking your calories and macros is such a vital piece of the cutting process, you need to make sure you're actually tracking accurately. So I highly recommend getting a food scale. From my own experience and my clients, nothing is as accurate as actually using a food scale, weighing everything out and inputting that exact weight right into MyFitnessPal or whatever you use to track, because then you know exactly what you are consuming every day. When I used to track before having a scale, I would guesstimate. I would use like measuring cups and spoons and stuff, and it was so off. Like once I got my food scale, it was such an eye-opening experience. You can be off by hundreds of calories without even knowing, like without even thinking that you're even somewhat off. Like it truly makes all the difference, and it can really make or break your results. And I touched on it before, but another way to make sure you are in that calorie deficit is to increase your calorie expenditure. Oftentimes, people just do this by adding in some cardio throughout their week, whether it's a 20-minute incline walk at the end of their lift, or maybe they add in a whole separate day dedicated to cardio, but just adding in some type of cardio, whether it's incline walking, jogging, biking, elliptical, Stairmaster, whatever you want to add in, but add that in to ensure that you are doing more than you previously were, that you are burning more calories than previous weeks. And over time, you can increase the time or frequency that you engage in this cardio. All right, to wrap this up, we're gonna quickly run through my top tips and tricks and just easy ways to help you have a successful cut. Once again, we're keeping this super simple. There is no need to overcomplicate things. If it's simple to understand, it's simple to apply to your lifestyle. Tip number one is to increase your water intake. This helps with satiety, and if you are more satiated and feel fuller for longer, you are way less likely to fall to temptations. Tip number two is to increase your protein intake for all the same reasons. It obviously helps with satiety, but more importantly, it helps maintain lean muscle mass, which is crucial. Tip number three is to utilize cardio as a way of increasing your calorie expenditure, like we talked about. Tip number four is to utilize strength training. This will also increase your calorie expenditure because you are working out, you are burning calories, but more importantly, it can build and retain your lean muscle mass. And the more muscle you have on your body, the more efficient your body is and the faster your metabolism is. Tip number five is to cook your meals at home. That way you know exactly what is going into your food, exactly what is going into your body, and you can weigh everything out. Tip number six is to avoid refined sugar. I know it is hard, but any refined sugar that your body doesn't use right away is actually stored as fat. Tip number seven, you probably aren't gonna wanna hear this, but get comfortable feeling hungry. It's normal. You are supposed to feel hungry when you are in a calorie deficit because you are purposely giving your body less calories than it is used to eating. And tip number eight, one that really works for me, is think about the foods you are eating and the effect it has on how you feel. Typically, if I eat crap foods, I feel like crap. If I eat good, healthy, nutritious foods, I end up feeling good, healthy, and nutritious and energized. So think about the foods you are eating, how they affect the way you feel, because to me, the way I feel is like everything, you know? I don't wanna feel like crap all the time. I wanna feel good. I wanna feel energetic. I wanna feel healthy. So fuel your body with the foods that make you feel the way you want to feel. So at the end of the day, it is these 8 things that really kind of help me get through each day and get in the right mindset to continue having a successful cut. And I'm not sitting here saying that it's so easy to be in a cut and it's a walk in the park. Like, no, not by any means. Cutting is hard, it's uncomfortable, and it's supposed to feel that way. Like, I don't think it's technically easy for anyone, but these things help simplify it and make it a whole lot clearer and easier in my mind. So hopefully they do the same things for you. Above all though, consistency is key. This isn't just a Monday through Friday gig. You gotta show up for yourself even on the weekends. If you are consistently in that calorie deficit, you will see results, I promise. All right, I feel like I could go on and on about this forever, but I like to keep things short, sweet, and to the point, so we are gonna wrap this video up here. If you have any other questions, comments, concerns, feel free to comment them down below or DM me on Instagram. I promise I will get back to you. I love helping you guys out in any way possible. And if you guys want any other like educational, more informative videos, feel free to drop some suggestions below because I love making these. You guys know I'm a nerd when it comes to all things health and fitness. I love this stuff. But I really hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope you got something valuable out of it, and I hope it helps you. If you did like it, don't forget to give it a like, make sure you're subscribed, and I will see you all next time. Bye.